Hello and welcome to theTapisery. My name is Jen. I have a website at personalitytapestry.org. This channel is its open forum where we can ask questions and exchange ideas. For this introduction, I will cover some ground rules and aspirations for this channel, along with a discussion of online community. We'll start with this channel's specific rules and guidelines. This one's self-explanatory. The rules are the rules. They apply to everyone and they protect everyone. These are the rules. I'll explain them a little bit. If you are unsure, please ask for clarification. If I change or update anything, I will add it to the description. These are the policies that I will enforce. I won't use free speech or hate speech. Taken literally, you could yell fire on a train and couldn't say you hate the person who yells this. Figuratively, these are simply not clear principles to be reasonably or fairly enforced. I will use the distinction between viewpoints and action expressions. I will protect people's freedom of viewpoint by being viewpoint neutral. Just keep it on topic and publicly decent. What I won't allow are action statements or existential malice. Action statements include threats, incitement, or support of criminal acts. This is all-encompassing. I will not make exceptions for immediacy or feasibility or if it's part of your religion or anything else. Do not make these statements as a joke. Also, don't be covert. If you have a legal statement to make it overtly legal. Do not say things like, I am going to make you pay, when you can clearly say, I will take you to a civil court. Existential malice is less clear, but should be fairly applicable. Malice means ill will or the intent for serious harm. Hate, on the other hand, means strong dislike, which does not in and of itself instigate harm. Existential malice means maliciousness towards someone's material existence, their objective life and ability. This includes doxing or impersonating, wishing bodily harm, and dehumanization. Doxing is the exposure of personally identifiable information unless it was shared publicly and intentionally by the person themselves. This includes public record or public exposure of private data, such as addresses, unless the information is criminal or about impersonal legal entities and a person's control or authority thereof. The genuine impersonation of another person or of a legal class, like a minor, is a similar endangerment. Wishing bodily harm is the expression of positivity, including celebrating or mocking, or neutrality for objective harm against a person, unless expressing general viewpoints about criminal justice or specific applications within existing law. For example, hoping someone gets cancer, or saying that you don't support a crime, but you don't mind the harm to the victim. Dehumanization is name-calling or derogatorily analogizing people to objects, animals, or body parts. You are free to express the viewpoint that someone is exploitative. You cannot call them a parasite. Overall, if you are going to express a serious viewpoint, if you are legal and professional, you'll be fine with me. Guidelines won't be enforced, but I encourage everyone to follow them. This is a poster from the School of Thought about civil discourse. I know the points are too small to read on most screens, but the link is in the description if you would like to. To summarize them for you, the first is, I will try to reach a shared understanding rather than win the argument. This emphasizes the mutual pursuit of truth over personal interest. For me, the bare minimum common ground should be an honest, factual representation of other people's viewpoints. If you can't do that, you are not having a conversation with the other person. You are speaking over them to a straw man. Number 2 is related to this. 3, 4, and 5 are about being rational and accounting for your own logical fallacies and biases. Emphasis on rationality starting with yourself and your own irrationality, which everyone has. 6 and 7 are about raising the standards by being professional and through the principle of charity or good faith. Number 8 is about remaining open to changing your mind, although being open to being wrong might be a better phrasing. Overall, expressing disagreement or criticism is not wrong. If you don't agree with that, then this channel is not for you. However, if there is disagreement, that does mean someone is wrong. Could be everyone. And conversation is potentially one solution. If someone isn't being civil or constructive, you can address that, but I recommend ignoring them. For personality communities specifically, I'm going to address 2 issues I see in the personality community, especially considering some creators have reacted poorly to things like TWFP's type police videos or their personality database profiles. I want to be clear that, on my end, this is an open space for expressing viewpoints about personality, even if it's about me. My feelings are my responsibility, not yours. I do not want anyone censoring themselves or walking on eggshells for my sake. In my experience, the toxicity in personality largely comes from toxic positivity and toxic individuality. This is a more modern issue alongside the increasingly online culture, but I think the subject of personality magnifies these issues. Toxic positivity is an issue because it inherently values affirmative or supportive views and is inherently aversive to disagreement or criticism. Negation is negative, disagreement is disagreeable, negative affects, anger, sorrow, fear are bad, positive affects, love, joy, peace are good. Everything must be positively framed. Therefore, making a claim is fine, but making a counterclaim is wrong. Making an overtly, directly negative claim is wrong, but covering an even more negative claim up with positivity is fine. Civil or constructive conversation is one-sided because this type believes that their reactive, disproportionate, and unconstructive negativity is justified if you do anything they deem too negative. This conflating or disparaging so-called negative things, labeling others with worse negative terms, and being unwilling to explain why, is name-calling. That is uncivil. I think it's rude and disrespectful, but calling it rude or disrespectful is beside the point of disagreement if you're working with someone else's perspective. But rather than addressing the actual disagreement, toxically positive people will start incivility and blame you for it. As for toxic individuality, people tend to over-personalize personality. Yes, personality is personal, but it is personal to everyone. If you are making a claim about personality, including your own, you are involving everyone. People often say things like, "We should trust that people know themselves best." This confuses why people's perspectives differ and conflates description and interpretation. Someone describing that they tend to be unobservant due to being internally preoccupied is not the same as someone interpreting themselves as introverted, which could be based on many entirely different concepts. Although people can lack descriptive self-awareness, unless there's glaring inconsistencies, I think people tend to accept people's descriptions at face value. The weight of the disagreement is usually more from the system or model and interpreting what that information means, more than about the individual. Applying personality to real individuals is very helpful in testing and developing personality. There's a time and a place, and people actively and publicly making claims about personality are, if anyone, appropriate subjects. Personality is not private property. It is a public, two-way street. Before moving on, I want to note that these issues are often also hypocritical and egocentric. I will speak for myself and many others who are more personally offended or stressed by things that others aren't, like certain intellectual or social tactics. No one, for example, is going around policing strawmen because they raise my blood pressure. Strawmanning is wrong regardless of personal offense and can be countered directly. Vague, circular, and black and white positivism or individualism is often wielded by people who don't have a valid argument. If you are going to claim that someone should not express something, you should be able and willing to clarify your perspective and to apply it fairly to everyone, including yourself. For this channel and community, I hope we can cultivate a more open forum. This poster is also from School of Thought and linked in the description. I'm not going over it, I just want to emphasize the importance of exchange and a better intellectual process regardless of whether we agree or disagree. We can all improve our critical and creative thinking, especially with it lacking in education. Maybe this community can also become a broader learning network. Going forward, I will be rotating between publishing here and on my website. My first personality video is about the study of personality and other personality models for a background of why I've gone a different direction. Regardless of your views about personality, I welcome everyone to join in and look forward to refining our views together.